Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or maybe even good night. Welcome to the new stage. In this series, in the running up to BEA World Festival 2021, I will be interviewing some people about the current status and the future of our industry. This led by the theme, Welcome to the New Stage. With me today, two people that are very important to the BEA World Festival. First of all, there is Salvatore Sagone, chairman of the ADC group. Hi, Salvatore. And of course, the president of BEA World and the founder. And then there is Ulrike Tondorf. Ulrike is head life and experience marketing at Bayer, but is here in her capacity of the jury president of BEA World Festival. So thank you both for being here. First of all, Salvatore, please give us a short introduction of what BEA World Festival 2021 will be like.
Thank you, JJ, and thank you for accepting this job that will give us some, we call the breadcrumbs about on the way to the BEA World Festival experience that will be held from the 14th to the 17th of December in a kind of a hybrid format from Milano. And we will discuss about what really hybrid means, because nobody has a very clear idea about it. So the next edition will be, as last year, digital, most of them, but we will have a studio where we will broadcast and the award ceremony. But in the previous day, there will be the live digital presentation, as we did, to allow the agencies and the clients belonging to the jury to interact. The other days is dedicated to the contents, thanks to your support that is always well appreciated. And then finally, the grand finale with the award ceremonies. This year we reviewed the categories and just to be updated with the evolution of the market. And I want to say that we already had important entries from all the most important countries, so that this means that there is a great wish to still continue celebrating the quality of events, whatever they are. Digital, hybrid, physical. Unfortunately, we are coming back to physical. And in this regard, I want to announce that next year, the BEA World Experience Festival will be physical in present. We will come back to meet us and have fun together, of course.
I have to tell you, Salvatore, Ulrike, that I'm really looking forward to hugging everybody like a madman.
Exactly.
So be warned, if you come to BEA World Festival 2022, I will be hugging you. That's a fair warning.
It will be a pleasure. It will be a pleasure.
That's human, right?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So probably, Salvatore, on to Ulrike and the jury president. And you had a question for her, right?
Yeah, sure. The question starts from the claim of this year, welcome to the new stage, where the new stage means a new era, a new way to approach events and to do it. And the first question is very simple. What is the new stage today for you, Ulrike? What will the future of the new stage also?
Yeah. For me, it's kind of a synonym for change, right? So even today, we all do not yet exactly know for sure what the future need of a brand experience looks like. And we all are still in a process of change, and solutions can only be worked out together by learning, by doing, and in depth listening to the customers. So the ones that are actually looking and experiencing. So we do not have to reinvent the wheel, but rethink and combine what we know to get to more individualized, sustainable solutions.
Yeah. When you try to find out what the future next stage will be, it may be a good idea to kind of look at what is the stage today. Can you tell us, both of you, what do you think is the stage of the industry today?
You want to start? Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Please.
Please, Ulrike. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I think we learned a lot out of the actual situation, and today we are still mainly doing digital. Life's coming back next year, I think, for us, right? I'm sure some in the industry are doing already live meetings, but with us, we do start next year slowly, and we'll actually look what it will be like. We learned a lot. We learned that online there are no physical barriers, and that we actually have to think about what kind of meeting we do when, right? Mm-hmm. And that we are all have to be open for new ways of working and think.
But that's interesting, Ulrike, because you say we have to be open to new ways of working. But Salvatore, you see a lot of things going on in the world of meetings and events. Do you really think that people truly embrace the opportunities of online, or are they just doing it as a temporary thing, waiting to go back live again?
This is a very good question. It's a crucial question. I think that, as we said before, we all want to come back live and physical, because it's our DNA as a human beings, you know. Yeah. But I think that what we have learned, and this will be the second question to Ulrike, during this year and a half, is something that we will keep in our memory and our tools box, you know. Yeah. The question is how to use these tools that we have learned in order to provide a new experience to our audiences. From what I see, we are, as Ulrike said, we are learning by doing. Mm-hmm. And there is not still a clear idea about what hybrid events are indeed. It's just a broadcasting of the live events, the physical events, or is it different events that combine simultaneously with the physical one? There are some questions, and still the industry is trying to experiment what is the new normal, I would say. And this is something very interesting, and we will see many projects at the next BEA World Edition of experiments in this direction. From what I see, there is a great force, a great wish to restart with the live events. I mean, we had many sports events like the Olympic Games. There is in these days, it's just opened the Expo 2020 in Dubai. There are many international events, but also local events are going on. This is a very encouraging for the industry to restart.
Yeah, but Ulrike, Salvatore mentioned the toolbox, and there are some extra elements available now. Will people be using these new tools, or will they simply go back to the old tool that they use always, the hammer? Just what do you think?
We will see, right? So I think it will be both of it. I'm sure some companies will try out new solutions, and others will go back. So, and it depends also on the organizers, talking about, let's say, congresses or fairs. It's not only the exhibitors, right, changing the world, or the agencies, but also the organizers. So there has to be something to happen, I think. But I'm sure companies as ours do much more think about what kind of meeting you are actually choosing for what kind of audience, and what kind of content you will share, right? And I'm not sure if the hybrid solution is really something that is important for the end user. This is something that is important for us as organizers of such meetings, because we do need to offer both solutions, right? The online solution and the live solution. And a question is of how to combine it, or even do we even have to combine it? So this is the question we have to raise, right? And I'm sure it's still to be answered.
But the thing is, maybe that the extra tool online is not just one extra tool, but it gives an exponentially larger amount of choices. because hybrid can mean a million things. It might also be scaring.
Yeah.
Too much choice. So how to deal with that?
That's a really good question. I think we already mentioned we have to try and error, right? What is the best for what event and what solution? But I think what is really important is to being open to new solutions, because they will have a lasting effect on sustainable customer experiences. And we for sure will also have to have in mind sustainability and diversity in future, because this is something that everybody has in mind, and even in our industry we have to actually think about that much more than in earlier times.
Yeah, still I like the idea of trial and error, but Salvatore, try imagining being the head of events at Bayer or at any big company, and then spending a few millions on an event and then kind of erroring it completely, and then having to go to your boss and saying, sorry, trial and error. Is it possible?
Sure. No, that's not possible. You're absolutely right.
No, but I mean, something wrong is always beyond the corner. Let's remember what happened the day before yesterday with the blackout of Facebook.
Yeah.
You can imagine how many people were supposed to do events with the live streaming.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
So, and at this regards, I have a good story. You know what is the difference between physical events and digital events? The difference is that in the physical event, you have adrenaline. In the digital, you have panic.
Yeah.
So, and that's actually the point. You have to choose the right format for the right audience. That's what I mean. So, and that's about try and error. I'm sure as soon as it comes to an event, as you mentioned it, that's not possible, right?
Yeah.
I just want the level. Yeah, for sure.
I just want, DJ, I just want to ask Ulrike a question about what, in your opinion, Ulrike, will be permanent, will permanently stay with us after the pandemic? I mean, what did you learn in this year and a half, and what is about to stay with us?
Yeah. I think first of all, I want to underline that live communication was and continues to be an important part of brand activation, right? So that won't change.
That's a good.
That's really important to yeah. No, it is like that. But you know, it is not always live. It is somehow also digital. So, and that's actually for sure a change in thinking, right? Live communication is not always only live. Yeah. As I said, it's all about activating our brand. But for sure, the demand changed due to the pandemic, and companies as ours are using that as an opportunity to consolidate the topic of sustainability and diversity, as I mentioned before, in live communication for the future. Because this is for sure in everybody's mind, and we have to accept that, and we have to include it in our planning.
Yeah. But should we forget about the word live communication? Because it's not always live communication. You just said it. Should we be looking for new words?
Definition.
Yeah, you know, we changed. You mentioned my job, right?
Yeah.
So that changed a while ago. We are actually calling us brand activation and engagement, because it's more than live communication.
In that case, you should change your LinkedIn profile.
I did it already. Okay. A while ago.
Okay. New definition on live communication.
On live. I love that one, Salvatore. Yeah. And what do you think? Because with this ever-growing toolkit, what do we need? Do we need people specializing in the use of one tool, or do we need generalists that know how to work with every tool?
Yeah. At the end of the day, I think everybody's there are also already jobs existing doing what we actually need, right? Yeah. You only have to choose the right people to add into projects to the exact need you are needing at that moment. So I don't think you need generalists. I think you need specialists, and just put a project team together that covers everything.
Yeah. I'm trying to imagine if somebody would have asked me or you 2 years ago, hey, how would you like to change everything? We probably would have said, well, no, thanks, we're fine. But looking back, has this era to our industry maybe been a blessing in disguise, because it has forced us to completely reinvent ourselves?
Sure.
So looking back, was it a blessing maybe?
Do you want to start? Okay.
Salvatore.
No, please, Ulrike.
Okay, Ulrike.
Yeah. As I said, I think we don't need to actually reinvent the wheel, because everything we did was correct and right. It's just a thing to rethink and combine differently, right? Does mean open for new ways of working and thinking. We already mentioned that, and live communication, and that was also always the case, but it came actually up to our mind even more visible, and that it is needed, that live communication must respond to specific needs of each individual end user, right? Yeah. And that's regardless of whether they are with us live. We can also say physical, by the way, right? Yeah. Or online live, whatever, or digital. So that's really important.
Yeah.
Just a few words I can answer to your question, JJ. I think that the pandemic has forced us to change dramatically. In a few months, maybe we did the evolution that maybe 5 or 10 years, no, maybe 5 or 7 years should have taken. So this is, as every dramatic event has forced us to change very quickly. And I think that all the industry enlarged their horizon, you know, including new professionalities. I mean, from what I see, many event agencies are hiring a professional from the TV production companies in terms of script writers, and to create events that are more similar to a TV program than a live event as we did before. So everything is changing. So yeah.
Should we be proud of ourselves looking back for the past 1.5, 2 years?
Of course. I think that the industry showed a resilience that we didn't suppose to even to have, but it's in the DNA of events, that which is to face the problems, the last second problems with serendipity, you know.
Yeah. Always react to the situation and find solutions. Absolutely right. Yeah.
In December, we will be doing the BEA World Festival. Theme, welcome to the new stage. Maybe one final statement by Ulrike. Ulrike, to people who are considering to participate, either with sending in a project or just being a participant. Maybe a last cry out to those people, inviting them to the new stage.
Yeah, actually, you be part of that journey. I think it's important to share all your learnings and these great projects you did. And by not reinventing the wheel, but finding solutions with existing tools. That would be great for the whole business and industry, because we can learn from you. And then see all your creativity.
Yeah, the new stage is there, but the old stage is not completely gone, luckily.
Right.
Salvatore, as president of BEA World, final words to you, please.
Final words is very simple. I wait for you all to join the festival, both whether as competitors and or audience. I just want to remember that in the 5th of November, the entry deadline will close. So hurry up.
Hurry. Yeah.
Hurry up. And I hope to see you all very soon.
Okay. Thank you both very much for being here. Thank you all for watching this interview, and hoping to welcome you to the new stage, the next in this series, or maybe at the BEA World Festival when we do it in December. Thank you.
Thank you, JJ. Thank you, Ulrike. And ciao. Bye-bye.
Thank you for having me. Bye.
Bye.